you know, with the genie in the bottle, that's for this next guest. If you say inspirational, she just appears because she's one of the most inspiring women in the industry. And I had the honor of sitting next to her for my time on The Voice, taking notes and learning from her every day. Not just about music, but humility, dignity, honor, and love. So it is time to connect Alicia Keys. Okay, we're connecting with Alicia. Queen!
My sister!
How's it going, Alicia? It's so good to see you. I miss you.
I miss you, Mama. It's so good to see you as well. You got the super freshest setup I ever saw. You got pom-poms.
You know, I got the pom-pom pillow, got the celebration of the balloon. I had a lot of time on my hands, which, you know, for creatives, we'll just start creating wherever we are.
I love it, man. You're the most brightest, brilliant spirit I ever saw, man. I just adore you, seriously.
But one thing I am not is a hairstylist. So last night, I got the scissors. She's going up on the sides. This morning, I was like, I went to sleep Miley Cyrus, and I woke up Keith Richards, but it's okay.
That's all right. You know, I just put mine in the little back, you know.
I didn't notice how short I went because I've been wearing my hair slicked. I don't know if it's like what is going on, but like I just can't wash my hair. I don't get out of my sweatpants really. I just like am letting it go, so I didn't really realize what all had happened.
Everybody's kind of on that tip.
I want to thank you so much for being on the show. Today is Motivational Monday, and it can't be done without you. And we see you on your gram. The greatest thing about Instagram is like you can shine and you can keep people updated with ways that you're staying bright during a dark time. And so we can learn so much from you by going on your Instagram. But we can learn so much from everybody right now because everyone's experience with COVID-19 is so unique, and everyone's got their own tools and tips on how they're really getting through it and staying bright through it. So how are you staying lit in dark times?
You know, first of all, I'm big on gratitude. You know, I think that gratitude really helps a lot because sometimes I wake up in the morning, I feel really anxious, or I feel really like I feel a little funny thing. And I think probably all of us are feeling that. And it kind of waves. Like some days I feel really strong and clear, and other times I feel like off. So whenever I start to feeling off, I really get to my gratitude. Like I start thinking about, man, I'm so grateful I'm breathing. Wow, I'm so grateful my family's healthy. Man, I'm so grateful that I can, you know, just walk around this space for a minute, you know, because what if I was confined to only a chair and I couldn't even get up, you know? So I start to really think about the things that I'm grateful for. And I find when I just do that, it's a trick, like, and it gets me out of the funk. So that helps a lot. I definitely like a little routine, like something that I'm doing, you know, because I have kids. So that's actually interesting, kind of managing all of their energies too, and making sure they feel safe, and you know, they're loud as hell, and sometimes I want to be quiet, you know. It's like, so just trying to figure it out, but having some type of schedule works too. Like we'll do a workout together at a certain time of day and just like get it in, or you know, something that, you know, or we'll play some type of game or whatever, something that has sorry about that, so it doesn't feel so I don't know, sometimes when there's just nothing, when you don't have your mind on anything, it can. Last night we did this drawing thing before bed. Man, I was so grateful to my 9-year-old because I started drawing, and I'm not a drawer. I can't really draw, to be honest. I tried to copy this picture of a wolf. I wish I had it. You'd be proud. It looks kind of good. But this action of just drawing and coloring, and even that did something for me. So, you know, just continuing to reach out to family and friends like you. I wanted to connect with you. I think that, you know, this technology ability to see people that you love and just connect for a second, it helps. So, and I've even been writing letters. I know that it's harder to send things right now. Things are a little bit slower, but even just like writing letters to people and telling them I'm thinking about them, and somehow that's feeling nice for me too. So just trying to sort
That's
it out.
something That's something my dad said too. He's like, when you write something down, you really give it power. And that kind of gets me actually to my next question. I'm skipping ahead because it was such a good segue for it. I was talking on Friday's episode about how when we come out of this, we don't want to go back to a pre-COVID-19 world. And, we want to go back to a better world, one that's more connected, one that's more compassionate. I mean, right now, everyone is stopping everything that they got going on just to protect the vulnerable. And we don't always do that. That's not a part of our everyday routine. So we're actually maybe becoming better people through the virus of actually saying, hey, what I got going on in my life isn't worth jeopardizing someone else's health. And we don't always do that, whether it's driving big cars or all the things that we do to pollute the environment or trying to take less trips. Maybe having more like local vacations instead of taking 100 flights a year, even though that's kind of hard for us. So what positive effect would you like to see come out of the experience, and what world do you want to step back into?
Man, that's a deep old question. Just asking me a deep old one. I mean, I'd have to agree that there is so many positive things that come from slowing down. And I think this, this idea of, we're always in such a rush. We're always so hurried and moving so fast. So many people I've even encountered that said, man, I've never had this type of time to like think or to, just have moments, even with your family. Like, that's a lot of people don't even have that experience where it's consistently with your family. So I think that that this idea of slowing down a little bit and holding on to that a bit and figuring out how to put that in process would be really beautiful. I do agree. I think there's a much more thoughtful nature about everything. Like we're thinking about each other more. We're a little bit more considerate even, and big things don't matter. Now it's like just the little things matter a lot.
Yeah.
So I would love that to continue on and for us to just hold on to that and make space for that, make time for that, and make that a conscious effort. It's deep. It's like we're forced into it right now, but it'd be so cool for
I
such.
think a lot of the time we think of our living space as this is just where I eat, sleep, and live. Right now, this is our safety, like our sanctuary. Like, actually I just got a new puppy, and it's so cute because he really, really loves his crate because that's his cave. That's his version of our house. He puts himself in there at night. You don't even have to put him in there because he wants to go into his cave. That's his safety. And now us thinking about our homes, if we're lucky enough to have one, to go, hey, this isn't just where I sleep and live. This is my safety. And there's a lot of people that don't have that safety. So I think I'm thinking about my home in a really different way and what it would be if I didn't have this type of safety. And now, in LA, they're doing a lot more work to protect the homeless, because the minute that this hits the homeless community, they don't have a place where they can really isolate. So they're getting trailers put together. So if there are COVID positive homeless people, they can be a place, where they can quarantine themselves, because otherwise they don't really have that safety. So we're so lucky to have that.
Seriously, I'm with you. And what do you want to see? That's what you want to. What do you want to see come out of it?
I think I want to let people know how much I appreciate their time that they give me. And even down, there's two girls that make my cappuccinos at my local little spot. I have one in Nashville and I have one in LA, and I go every single day. And the girls are always funny. They like fill me in on kind of like my community, tea. They give me the gossip, who's going through what, and they make my coffee. And we just had this morning, and I'm always like, we always have a super great conversation, but I don't think I've ever told them how much I appreciate them in my morning. Because they're so stoked to be there and to see me. And like, we just have such a great time. And it's those people, like I constantly tell my mom how much she means to me. I constantly tell my friends and my sisters, but not the people in my life that I have those little daily interactions with that I've never taken the time to go, seeing you in the morning makes my day. Like, I love connecting with you. And I think I love them so much because I don't have like a ton of friends my age, so they're my age. I see them in the morning, and it's just a really normal ritual for me.
Yes,
So
yes,
just
yes.
telling the people in my life that don't know how crucial they are to my being, because having those little people in your life, they just like totally fertilize all the big dreams and like ambitions that I have. Like they just make that grow so
That's
wild.
beautiful. I love that. Yeah, that appreciation and that connection is so,
Appreciation.
now that it's not possible, you know, so much, we do appreciate it so much.
One thing I wanted to ask you too is being bright minded is not always automatic. Some days it takes steps to get into a good, healthy headspace, like meditation or yoga or breathing. So, on days that you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, how does Alicia Keys get bright minded?
Yeah, that's what I mean. We kind of started with the gratitude piece. That definitely helps. I also find that I'm really needing my meditation more than ever now, and I when I miss it, I feel it. Like my,
Yeah.
you know, the energy that I might be getting just sometimes really I feel it. But I'm also comfortable with being uncomfortable. I think there's not, sometimes we want so bad to fix everything and set it straight and set it right, and there's nothing, and yes, and that's great. I'm not saying don't set it right and don't fix what you need to fix, but it's also something to be learned and gained from the discomfort. There's something to be learned and gained from the fear, the anxiety, the 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 things that might come up for you that make you feel a little bit down. And sometimes when you listen to that and you kind of ask yourself, like, what is it that you're scared of, or what is it that you're worried about, what is that you're feeling, you can tap in to a piece of yourself that maybe you've ignored the whole time or you've never paid attention to, and that will eventually lead you to feeling more back in your center, to learn something about yourself that you never took the time to listen to before. So I know that that might sound counterintuitive, but I'm personally a person who finds myself always wanting to fix things and make everything quote unquote perfect and right and all this type of stuff. I'm learning about being comfortable with the discomfort and learning from it and listening to it, and that also is a part of what turns me around too. But I will also, you know, put on some good music, man. Put on some good music,
Yeah.
jump in your bed, you know what I mean, like blast it, dance around, you know, things like that, where you're just kind of getting your heart up and you're just like letting it go. Screaming is really amazing. Go for a scream. Go ahead and let it out. Don't hold it back. Let it out. Be like, ah,
Ah!
ah.
I was doing that last night and just sending videos to all my friends of just me screaming. And they're like, it's really getting to you. I'm like, no, it just feels really good.
Honestly, it really feels good. And you know, so things like that, you know, and listen to songs that uplift you, like pay attention, be conscious of the lyrics even that you're taking in, like listen to things that feed you and give something to your soul, because right now we need a lot of soul feeding, and that really helps. So that's some of my little vibes.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. I'm going to send you, my fans are like being amazing and they're writing down how each guest has helped them and made them feel brighter. So I'll text you some of those little notes from everybody. This has been so good, Alicia. You're always like just radiating so much light, and just thank you for
Thank
sharing that
you.
with us today.
Well, thank you to everybody. You know, thank you for inviting me. You know, I adore you. One of the things I've been thinking about so much is how to keep becoming more ourselves, because that's something, that's a journey that I've been on for, you know, not who we're told to be or who people want us to be or who we're expected to be, but actually who you actually are. And I think some of those things you've been asking about like to let go of or to find your way back to your center is all about continuing to become more yourself. And so I see you always being yourself. And I just actually, I have a book called More Myself coming out tomorrow.
No
And
way!
I know. And I actually couldn't believe the timing of it, because I think right now more than ever, we're just looking for something to connect to. And we're looking for who we really are in this moment right now. You know what I mean? And so it's beautiful words. And I mean, I couldn't have imagined that it would be this time, this happening right now. But I couldn't be more proud that it actually is out in the world for people to receive this message here. And I mean, everybody has been showing my song Underdog so much love. That's another song that I think resonates with all the first responders and the healthcare professionals that are out here, like, being unbelievable. I couldn't be more inspired by people being so giving and loving of their time and their health and their space and, you know, their knowledge. And so it's, you know, I think even though it feels like a crazy world, we're seeing the best of ourselves. And so back to your question about, you know, what do we want coming out of this, is like, you know, finding and continuing to cultivate the best of ourselves. And so thank you for being the best that you are and being this beautiful light that just is completely yourself and on your own trajectory. And I've always loved that about you so much. And for starting this, because, you know, we need this. We need that good energy right now. So you always bring it. And I adore you, girl.
I adore you. Thank you so much, Alicia. And I can't wait. I'm just going to be streaming your song like crazy. I can't wait to check out your book. Thank you for always sharing your light with us. We love you so much.
Mwah.
Thank you. See you soon.
Bye, baby.
All right. I see Selma down there. It is time for another inspiring woman who I love so much, so I can request you. So it'll be totally easy. So you know who else I love? I love Alicia Keys, and I love Selma Blair. She has been so bold and transparent through her experience with MS. And so when putting together the Motivational Monday episode, I knew that it would not be right to do it without her. So I'm going to connect Selma now. Here she is. Hi, Selma.
Hi, you make me so happy. Oh
You
my,
made me so happy.
thank you. My voice is a little weird at first, and I usually find it calms down. I bring my legs in and stuff, so just letting people know I'm not like sick. I just have a speech issue.
Don't worry about it at all. You sound amazing. That's a part of, I mean, same thing, even like for my voice, if I'm doing a show, the first couple of songs, I'm like figuring myself out and I'm like getting myself into my body. So don't worry.
That even happens to you. I wonder, the thing I have, with the thing you like the most. So while I'm tone deaf, I'm the biggest talker. So it's like so weird that I'm slow. But anyhow, good morning. I loved watching Alicia and Zion. So amazing. That just made me feel better in itself. Although, you know, I'm such a wisecracker. They're all so earnest and good people, and I'm still an asshole. It's a joke.
Absolutely not. We are able to share so much. So we've been talking a lot about, so I want to start with, this has been like a really beautiful experience. Actually, the coronavirus is really demanding that we connect in ways beyond physically. There's been a lot to learn from this experience. What have you learned in COVID-19?
You know, it's been, of course, other than, of course, worry for the world out there economically, the people who have huge stresses, but to see everyone, and this is not trying to be so self-centered, but I've been pretty much in isolation for 2 years because, you know, my physical issues make it harder to get out, harder to speak, harder to, you know, all these things. And now everyone's on this same kind of daily trajectory I'm on. And I love when people can find like the real gift in it. I mean, other than crisis and worrying, like a worry that sits there going, what can I do? This is an incredible time for me, you know, because I'm home and to have my son home and to be able to have people understand like how everything, I mean, there's just nothing that gets me mad for long anymore. And it hasn't for a couple years. You know, I find a way to still come back and get calm, and I laugh inappropriately, and I'm a little like odd that way. But this has been an incredible, you know, And unlike most of the other moms, I don't keep a schedule right now with my kid. I'm like, enjoy. Like, this is Woodstock. This is Woodstock. Enjoy it. You know, he's on break right now too, so kind of anything goes. Dance party at midnight if he can, you know, if he'll be seen with me alone in my house. So we have fun.
Well, you know, when our health is jeopardized, it can be such a wake-up call, and it can make us aware of things that we took for granted before. And many people that are watching, you know, us right now, they may have tested positive for coronavirus, or they will test positive for COVID-19 at some time. What advice would you give for receiving medical news that can immediately feel terrifying?
Yeah, for people, you know, this moment is what we have. We hope for more, but even how we show our grace and being there for our loved ones with, you know, keeping ourselves as strong and also being vulnerable, which is a form of strength to me and has helped me for other people to shoulder stuff when I've been nervous. So to be open, but also really take this opportunity to be the best you can be, to help your days along. You know, I'm just the same with me getting a diagnosis of MS or speech issues, or I can't ride my horse now. There's so many. I mean, there's not been 1 minute that I felt sorry for myself. Of course, I'm not at risk of dying, you know, immediately if I got it, unless I got a virus like everyone else. So I just really look in the moment, because now, you know, I'm a middle-aged woman with an incurable disease, and it doesn't even matter. I mean, anyone can be, God forbid, hit by a car on a Tuesday afternoon. So we're all just really, you know, do what we can to enjoy this and help our children or parents or neighbors. I mean, I'm not going to do any of that, but I'm glad you are.
And we've spoken a lot on Right Minded about the war between our ears. So not believing every thought that we think is true, because our brain just totally does its own thing. We have no control over it. It gets cluttered with negative thoughts, and our brain loves to future tell. So we've all got like a psychic inside of our brain that says, I know this is going to happen, which we absolutely don't know. So on some days where the battle is bigger than other days, how do you tame that dragon and focus on helpful thoughts and not hurtful thoughts?
Yeah, I think I had a whole lifetime of hurtful thoughts. Like, I was just one of those people that just wasn't happy. So I just would go to the dark stuff. And then when I kind of had a reason to go, ooh, sit back, you might want to grieve a little, I was like, oh, now I'm allowed to. Like, I'm okay. That slot's taken. Like, so I just don't worry anymore. I really don't. I worry about, you know, the people that I employ, like how can I keep them safer, my son, my family, and myself. But other than that, I don't. Like, I read, I think it was like, you know, an Eat, Pray, Love, like years ago when Elizabeth Gilbert wrote how, you know, when the negative thoughts would come in, you know, you just really have to tell them to like go take a bath or something, because they've never helped me in my life. Not once is my critical, unless it's like to do a rewrite or an edit, but not if it's in love. Because not once have I helped myself by being angry or down at myself. And now I'm just learning at 47. Like, shit, this is my one chance. Like, just enjoy it. And I do.
Absolutely.
And I mean, we do have control, right? I mean, you have control of your thoughts. For sure, you've gotten terrified and like talked yourself back on something.
Oh my God, I just, pretty much every time I go on stage, I ask my mom who's watching, do I have to do this? And she's like, there was about, because usually you have at least, you know, 40, 50, 2 months, days notice before a show. And she's like, one, I've had 15 years to decide, no thank you. So she's always like, you know, she's always like, you could have made this decision before. Like, so I always have to do the shows, and if I would have bailed on shows, that would have become a habit for me. I would have continued to do that, and I would have continued to have been unreliable, which we do not want to be. So today is National Doctors and Health.
I know, I just found out. Thank you, doctors. National Doctor
That's
Day.
what I was gonna ask. I wanted to know if you have a special message for them before we sign off, because we are so lucky every day to have people like them caring and showing up to work and trying their best to save lives. So do you have a message for doctors and healthcare workers?
I mean, I'm in awe of people right now that are really battling through this in a much more active way than the rest of us staying at home. I'm in awe and admiration. I hope there's such, they feel the gratitude when they get to lay down at night, the doctors and nurses and everyone that's working under such duress to help our society. And of course, doctors always, love them, hate them, I need them. I'm so thrilled that, they see that it's a community that's really coming together in this crisis. Thrilled, kind of creepy, but I'm really so grateful. Yeah, doctor. Yeah, I mean,
Me
yeah,
too.
it's
So I
really,
wanted to thank
really
you.
risky. Yeah. Okay.
I wanted to thank you so much for being on the show, for always like being such a light for everyone, and you just shine so bright, and I'm so glad we finally got to connect. Thank you so much, Selma.
Big love, Miley.
Thank you. Okay. And now oh, I hear balloons. Okay. And so now it is time. It is one more guest. Let me just check on this right now. Okay. Okay, so now for our final bright-minded guest, it is Millie Bobby Brown. This was a big request from everybody that's been watching, all the viewers, but mostly a big request of mine. I've been trying to talk to this girl forever. I'm actually gonna stop this live and I'm gonna reconnect.